Okay, back to what happened. Dak dropped another playoff stink bomb in yesterday's first half. He threw for only 87 yards with 2 interceptions, one, of course, a pick six as the Cowboys fell behind 27-0. So, Michael, you still want Jerry to give Dak a contract extension that would make him the NFL's highest paid quarterback?
Let me tell you what I don't want, Skip. I want us to retool and get back in the fight. I don't want us to be looking for a quarterback and get knocked all the way out to fight. And you can't go out and say, you're going to be a great quarterback, you're going to be a great quarterback, or you're going to be a great quarterback. Let's take one of them. You have to develop that quarterback. You have to make sure that quarterback knows how to lead your team. I'm not ready to go back into the abyss of chasing down and trying to find quarterbacks. I know what that was like prior to us getting Tony Romo. You remember all of those Quincy Carters and Drew, all those guys we brought in.
Yep.
We will not get back into that race.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a solid quarterback until you can give me something great. We have a quarterback that was in an MVP conversation this year. I'm not getting rid of that quarterback that was in the MVP conversation this year, along with that number 88 and the relationship they have and the union they have, the vibe and the connection they have on the football field. I got to get someone in here that can bring the best out of everybody on that offense and bring an offense that can help everybody. CeeDee Lamb can get open no matter what when you give him one-on-one opportunities. But other people need help being open. Dak Prescott may need help seeing things. That's what I love about what Shanahan and the Sean McVays and all of these guys do with their quarterback. They help them. They give them easy stuff added on that they can have plays where people are running wide open. I want that for Dak Prescott before I say, let me get rid of Dak Prescott and go back in that abyss of a hellhole looking for a quarterback, Sherm.
Okay, but Michael, you want to go ahead and sign him for 4 more years,
this
right?
This is the market.
Okay.
This is the market.
You got to.
This is the market. This is what it is. And every time you wait, it's only going north. It will never go south. It's not going, that number's not going south because they're not, the owners aren't going to let their money go north. Therefore, by proxy, the quarterback money will only go north. You understand? Right. So we're not going to go back down to 45, back down to 40, back down. No. Dak Prescott, you sign him. Somebody's going to jump him next year and then jump somebody else or jump that person. But we need a quarterback or we're out the game totally. Yes, I'm signing Dak Prescott.
See, when your quarterback's playing well all season, Skip, and you're hooping and hollering, you're sitting there talking about how he threw 3-4 touchdowns and walked the ball down the field against the Philadelphia Eagles. You never think about these moments when it's going to come bite you in the butt. Because it's going to bite you in the butt because he led the league in touchdown passes. He was top 5 in a number of categories. He was a top 5 quarterback all regular season for all intents and purposes, and he played great. He did not play well in the playoffs. Gotcha. But you can do for everything you're saying, hey, he could do this better. He can do this better. On the other side of that coin, understand, you can get a lot worse quarterback plays. You can get a lot worse. You can never be in this position. You can be under 500 as a team. You can do worse than the quarterback that led the league in touchdown passes, Skip. And so when you don't appreciate what you have, then sometimes you got to learn the hard way. And sometimes you're sitting there like, yeah, let's build our team up. Fire McCarthy, do all this. Hey, let's get rid of all these guys. Well, you're going to have a chance to do that, Skip. Tyron Smith, he's not under contract right now. Biotish, he's not under contract right now. There's a number of guys you don't have to bring back. Jordan Lewis, there's a number of guys you don't have to bring back, but watch how different your team is. You don't want to bring Dak Prescott back? Watch how different your team would be without him. And then you would be appreciating, you would be wishing. There's a number of teams wishing for Dak Prescott. Let the Atlanta Falcons hear about Dak Prescott being available. I guarantee you they'd be happy. He's done nothing for their franchise. They'd be happy to give him $55+ million to come quarterback their franchise. There are a number of teams just like them that would pay a lot of money. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for example, they'd pay a lot of money to come see Dak Prescott do what he's done against them in the playoffs for them. And so Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Skip, but you better pay him, or you're going to be in a lot worse situation going forward. You want to pay. You want to.
Right, and Dak has all control now here. You can't tag him. You can't tag him, or you know what I mean. So you can't trade him. So you either do business with him or let him walk, and you can't let him walk.
Okay.
Let him walk.
I told both of you guys and Keyshawn all year very long, I just don't trust him in the postseason. I never wavered. I was stuck with him, so I can't help but root for him because I'm diehard lifelong. I can't help it. It is what it is. And he did play much better this year with McCarthy calling plays than he played last year. But I kept telling all of you guys, I'm spoiled. I come from a very different place than Michael comes from when he talks about the Cowboys. I know what it was like to watch Don Meredith throw to Bullet Bob Hayes. I know what Roger Staubach brought to this franchise because he was the greatest winner I've ever been around this side of Tom Brady. One of the great leaders in the history of the game. He transformed our franchise. He invented, created the Hail Mary, named it, nicknamed it the Hail Mary. He pulled out one game after another after another. He could be trusted the most in the biggest moments. And I know what Troy Aikman brought to this franchise because nobody knows better than the man sitting across from me right now. When it was time, Troy played. When it was time for 8 to 88, I could trust it. I could take it to my emotional bank because it always cashed and cashed and cashed. Even when they lost that 94 NFC Championship game at San Francisco, it was a spectacle to watch of 8 to 88. Would you fall behind 21-3? Yeah. And here you came, and you almost pulled it out, and Dion got away with a little arm bar pass interference, and Barry Switzer got a little over-emotional, ran onto the field and got a 15-yard penalty, and that was that. But you were positioned to come all the way back because of 8 to 88. Troy Aikman, I'm spoiled. We can do better than Dak. You say we could do a whole lot worse. I got you. But we can do better than Dak Prescott because he's now fallen to 2-5 in the postseason, right on schedule yesterday. When I actually least expected it, he turned back into, quote-unquote, playoff Dak. It's hard to watch because in the first half, he goes 13 of 21 for 87 yards and 2 interceptions, one a pick six. The other one could have been a pick six. And he and CD fell completely apart. I don't know why we're going to go head on with it in just a few minutes here. We'll go deeper into it, whatever we know about it. But in the first half, CD Lamb was thrown 7 footballs. He caught 2 for 18. It's just wrong. Something went completely off the rails between those two in the first half after over the last 12 games, they had been the dominant duo in all of pro football. Right. I don't know. I know that Dak, 2 years ago, going back to the home playoff loss to Jimmy G and the 49ers, I don't know, he wasn't ready to play. He came on a little bit late and actually looked like he could have a throw into the end zone. We were down 25-20 to maybe pull out a Hail Mary of a miracle, and we couldn't get the ball spotted because he ran a little too far on what was sort of a quarterback draw up the middle. And then last year at San Francisco, the defense came to play. It was 19-12. We held Brock Purdy in that offense to 19 points at their place. And Dak threw 2 second-quarter interceptions, and we couldn't dig back out of the hole. I don't know. To me, Richard, you said, what's the definition of insanity? What did you tell me to open the show? What is it? You keep going back to the same well over and over and over again. And I've seen it, and I've seen it, and I've seen it. And I get you, but listen, would I like to see Trey Lance get a shot? Once upon a time, the two Shanahans, the two greatest minds in coaching today, said, we love Trey Lance, and we're going to trade the sun and the moon to go get him. And he got hurt.
And they got rid of him.
Okay, they did, but he never got off to the right start, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got it.
As a guy who would love to see this, just to sit on this show and laugh in your face, put Trey Lance in and develop him and do that and put your franchise on Trey Lance. I would pay a lot of money to see that. And then when it goes bad and Dak Prescott's having the same success somewhere else, Skip, I will sit here and say I told you so, because you can't name me 6, 7 quarterbacks who've had more playoff success. Their playoff success isn't for everybody, Skip. There's not a ton of quarterbacks in the league that have playoff success. There's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are 2-5. I mean, what is Lamar Jackson? Is he 1-3, 1-4? And he's a great quarterback in the National Football League. There's a lot of quarterbacks that go to this playoffs and don't have success.
Right, but what you've done for Lamar now to give him a different opportunity, you went and said, let's get you some new people.
New offensive coordinator.
Let's get you a new system, because this is unlike basketball. When we see a guy go in